Finally, we got ourselves a new batch of vintage collection boys. I just gotta talk for a second. Hasbro Pulse, man, what's your problem? The pre-orders on these things, I think they'd say they'd ship in December. And here I am before November. It's probably going to come out after November starts. But before November, I've had these guys for a couple weeks already. I just waited until my last batch of videos came to an end before I filmed my new batch that has the reviews of these in them. You may be thinking, oh, wasn't Fives also in this wave? Where's your review of Fives? He is in Clone Corner along with the 3-pack. I just have the Fives from the 3-pack. I might end up getting the single-carded one if I see that in stores, but I haven't yet. I've seen these guys, but I've not seen Fives, which goes to show, hey, Fives is really popular, and that's a good thing, because it's the best figure of the wave. But Chirrut Imwe is also really, really, really good. All of these are actually really good. Hondo is probably one of the weakest new vintage collection releases we've had. It's still good, but it's just kind of weak. He's just a little. He doesn't really do anything that wows me. But before we go on to them, let's talk about the one that's most reuse out of all of them, and that's Luke Skywalker. This is Luke Skywalker from his Jabba's Palace sort of encounter. You may be thinking, oh, you didn't get the Stormtrooper Luke or the actually. I didn't. I got the ceremony Luke, but I didn't get the pilot Luke because I didn't really feel the need to upgrade those. But I got this because I didn't really have an explicit Jabba's Palace Luke. The closest thing I came to was what this figure is based off of. Get off of there, hair. And that is the extremely big-robed lightsaber construction Luke, which had a pretty good head, pretty good body, which is shared here. It's painted a little differently. I think that's a gnat on Luke. There's a gnat on Luke Skywalker right now. That is a gnat. Why? Why? I have like almost no gnats that really inhabit my house. I don't have a gnat-infested house, but out of all the gnats, this one just has to... Anyways, just get off. There we go. He flew away. Yeah, good figure, but his problem was this big, big cloak. Look at how huge it is. It's a huge cloak, and it has these folded over bits. It's just massive, and his hood is huge. Look at how huge his hood is. That hood is enormous. Wow. But yeah, it was based off of the deleted scene where he was constructing his lightsaber. That's why he has those accessories. That's why he's donning this massive robe. However, this one has the accurate Jabba's Palace style robe. Unfortunately, I think it's probably going to end up fraying at the corners after a while because it's not really cleanly stitched at the corners. So yeah, I'm getting the feeling it's going to fray, looking at the fact that it's already kind of fraying already. I don't even think he's in focus. Oh my gosh, thank you, Luke Skywalker. I really appreciate that. So, pretty much the same body. So you can expect a nice ball joint at the head, ball hinge at the shoulders. It's an older vintage collection figure, but it's one of the best ones. I mean, look at the hip range. You can get a lot out of those hips. And then the knees. And then, unfortunately, it just has the hinge and the swivels at the ankles. But pretty good articulation. Swivel at the waist. We've got to talk about that new head sculpt. And this guy was released in that vintage collection special action figure set for SDCC. But they even improved it beyond that original release with this. That looks really good. Still doesn't really look like Mark Hamill too much, but it looks really good. And then he does come with the gun that he stole, which is great. And he comes with the hood that looks amazing. That hood is wow. And then, actually it does also have up and down hinges at the wrist too, which is really great. Because I think TVC, they're starting to realize, hey, up and down is more useful than in and out. He also does come with his lightsaber, which he doesn't really use until later. So you can have the lightsaber for Skiff Luke, but for the Palace Luke, with the robe, that's what you want. But you can take the robe off. It's pretty simple. I would say pop the head off, and then just slide it off. Make sure it doesn't get pinched in the joints. There we go. Here we have a Skiff Luke. If you got that big old sail barge, which I did not, because even though I have pretty much every figure that it can accommodate, I did not want the sail barge. I mean, it looks good. I don't think he wants to be in focus. Oh my gosh, there we go. Yeah, he looks really good. Really good Luke Skywalker. He's one of the good ones. And here's his card back. Oh no, don't do it. Don't do it, Hondo. Don't do... No. No, don't fall behind the desk. Ooh. Ooh. Anyways, here's the card back. I always like talking about these. Really good pick. Really good pick for the picture. I think that's perfect, honestly. And then, there you go. It's the other figures. Hooray. Yeah, he's VC 175. Oh my goodness. I remember before it was even 100. Man, TVC has been going for... Well, it had like a 5-year hiatus. But hey, at least it's back, right? Hooray. Next, let's talk about Hondo, because he's kind of disappointing. He's not that bad. Let's talk about the card back. He just has a generic Star Wars card because he's based off of Galaxy of Adventures. So you can see... That's probably the actor, because there's the animatronic, and then there's like the guy in actual makeup at the place. I haven't been there, but I've seen some footage, okay? I want to go someday. Yeah, that's not a bad picture. Honestly, I think it would have been cooler to see the animatronic on there. Because, hey, I like animatronics. I'm fascinated by them. So I like to consider this an action figure of an animatronic. So he can be all like, whoa, whoa, Five Nights at Freddy's reference, whoa. That's funny. Isn't that so topical? But yeah, I think Chirrut back there is ruining me. So yeah, here's his goggles, man. They look more like glasses. And he looks like that kid from the Magic School Bus. That's just what I'm getting reminded of. But let's compare him. We got to with the original Clone Wars Hondo, which I am shocked that I still have his goggles. I have almost lost those goggles about 1 trillion, billion, gajillion times. But I have not. But you can see the differences in the costumes. There's a lot of differences, actually. The helmets are similar, but there's a lot of differences between Clone Wars Hondo and sequel trilogy era Hondo. So yeah, I just figured I'd show that. Which one's the better figure? This one. He doesn't have knee articulation, but I think he just looks a lot better. Because his head, man, I can't get over that. Like, he's got like this smile on his face, and he looks like he's just wearing derpy glasses. I don't know, it's not bad. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. It doesn't really make me feel like this is Hondo Ohnaka. This is Hondo Ohnaka, but I don't know. It's not bad. I can't explain why I feel the way I feel. His articulation, he's got a double ball peg at the neck, so he got some pretty good range. Ball hinges at the shoulders. Really disappointing hinges at the elbows. Less than 90 degrees. That's a huge letdown. Up and down at this wrist, and I think it's also up and down at this one, so that's really good. He has a ball joint at the waist, which not really useful because of his giant coat. His legs aren't bad. You can move his legs. You're supposed to move his legs. You can move them up. It's one thing about these hinges they do now. It's kind of difficult to work with them because there's just so much. You got a knee bend, which actually isn't bad. Knee swivel, and then you actually have ankle pivot. They're starting to finally implement ankle pivot as a standard in TVC, and I love it. I'm so happy about it. So here's Hondo, pretty much. You can holster his gun, which I appreciate. You can holster it right there. Yeah, he's not bad. I like him. Chirrut, on the other hand, is something to behold. This thing's great. Really great image. Really great image right there. Perfect image for Chirrut. I think the color green really fits. Rest of the wave, it's Chirrut. He's cool. I really like that card back. This figure, though, wowee, wow. This is probably one of the most fluid, most durable, most 6-inch feeling 3 3/4-inch figures I've ever handled, ever. But let's just get this horrid comparison out of the way so I can put this figure in my drawer and forget I've ever owned it. Here it is with the original 5 POA. Yeah, you can get all of Donnie Yen's epic action poses with this figure with giant, weird legs and really weird, stumpy arms. And, oh dear. Yeah, this thing's going in a drawer, and I'm going to completely forget about it. I might end up selling it one day, but honestly, 3 3/4-inch Star Wars figures, they take up so little space. I can just store them away for now. I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, there you go. That's something to behold. New one looks glorious. Look at that likeness to Donnie Yen. That is absolutely superb. That is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Look at his stick. Look at all the details in the stick. You can kind of have it in the strap right there for storage. It's got the metal. Oh my gosh, that stick looks great. And his gun, too, like his weird gun thing. It can separate. Has a little piece right there that separates. And it separates at this part right there. But I really don't want to do it. But it can, like, swivel, too. I'm worried it's going to break. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But it can separate and come apart right at that point right there. So yeah, he has that. He can move it really well. But let's take it out of his hand because it really kind of hinders our access to the figure. He looks stunning. He looks amazing. He's got a plastic cape right here, but this is soft goods. He's got double layer soft goods, black and red, which work really great for his crazy posability. Which let's get into that because you can see everything that's going on with him. He's a small 3 3/4 inch figure. He's pretty basic. So he's got a double ball joint at the head there. He has pretty standard shoulders, give you everything you need. His elbows though, whew, that's pretty good. And then he has up and down at the wrists, which are crazy. That's so good. And just to show you, let's get his stick out. You can get some awesome poses, probably maybe even better than the 6-inch with his arm posability, especially with those hinges. Those hinges just make a world of difference. Like, just look at that. Look at how much they can hinge just so he can hold it. Like, look at that. They can hinge so well so he can still point it straight and he can use it straight. He's got all the detail on his left arm too. That looks great. He has like a ball joint at the waist there, which is pretty good. His legs, though, are crazy. Look at that, just the forward motion. And it's so fluid, too. Remember I was saying with Hondo how kind of awkward those hinges are? Like, you saw me struggling. This one's so fluid. Look at that. It's just so fluid. It's so fluid, and I feel like I can just move it. It just moves for me, you know? I love that. He's got a thigh swivel. His knees are pretty fluid, too, and they go pretty deep. Really good knees. And then he also does have ankle pivots. So, like, as you saw, like, look at this pose. Look at this pose that I can achieve with this 3 3/4 inch Star Wars action figure. You can actually use that stiff cape as like a third leg. Like, look at this. Like, just, here, let me get it down a little bit. Just look at this thing. This is probably... I've always wondered, like, what's the most posable 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figure? I'm going to say it's this one. I'm going to say this is the most posable 3 3/4 inch Star Wars action figure ever made. I think this is it. I think he's just the most posable. Like, I'm sure I could work with that other arm and get him to hold that, but look at that. He can stand like that, too. Like, yeah, it's great. This thing's really, really great. By far, one of the best TVC figures we've gotten in recent years. Definitely, I don't know, the 5s is just so impressive to me, and I'm biased because I'm such a clone fan. The 5s is probably still my favorite from this wave, but I gotta give it to Chirrut for being one of the most revolutionary and most super posable and epic Star Wars figures we've ever gotten at this scale. I think it's probably... I did review and mess with the 6-inch one. I think this one's better. I seriously do. I seriously think the small one is better. It's just so nice. So there you go, guys. There's my review of the new TVC Chirrut Imwe. You know, what's his phrase? I'm one with the Force and the Force is with me. Man, I love that movie. It's been forever since I've seen it. I need to watch it again. There's Hondo. And that is Luke Skywalker right there. Luke Skywalker. I can't get over that. I can't believe Hasbro released figures with typos that bad. There we go. There's these 3 figures. I highly, highly recommend them. My favorite by far out of these 3 is Chirrut. Then I'd say Luke, then Hondo. Hondo's not bad, but I can say out of this new renaissance of vintage collection, he's probably one of the weakest figures. Ever since they did photo reel for the TVC figures, Hondo's the weakest one from that era. I hate to say it, he's the weakest. He just doesn't do anything new or special, and he's just kind of, he's there. But Luke is a great reuse of a great body, and Chirrut is an amazingly new design figure. Highly recommended. Alrighty, guys, there we go. Here's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed taking a look. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I haven't said that in ages. Oh my gosh. I haven't said that in ages. I'm not even going to finish it. I'll see you guys. Bye.